Hey there, so I am starting off another little vlog in the parking lot of one of my favorite places, the garden center. So I just got home from vacation and of course I'm right back to the garden center to see what they have. I have the one area where I planted cucumbers. You may have seen the video. I did the cucumbers along the fence line and I've had horrible germination. I'm not sure if it's slugs getting to them or something else. So I'm not sure if the slugs were eating the seedlings like while I was out of town or exactly what happened. Cucumbers have been tricky for me last year. I really want to get a cucumber harvest. So I did pick up a few cucumbers. Let me show you. So this is actually going to be a gift for one of my friends. But then I got a couple cucumbers. So I just got this is like a homemade pickles cucumber. Figured just kind of a classic cucumber. And there were 3 seedlings in each cell, so that's pretty good. I don't usually like to buy something like a cucumber from seed or from like a started plant because it's usually easy to start them from seed, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on this year, but I thought I'd just get them started. And then I got a just like a burpless classic kind of English style cucumber, and there were 3 little seedlings in that one as well. I also picked up a couple seeds for my dad for Father's Day. He loves the birds. He has like a big bird feeder, and so I thought I would get him a sunflower and then zinnias. Birds love the zinnias. My zinnias get attacked every year by goldfinches and I can't really feel too bad about it. I mean, I love my zinnias and I want to enjoy them, but I also like goldfinches. And so it's kind of like one of those things. But yeah, sunflowers and zinnias are 2 wonderful bird flowers. So if you're into gardening for the birds, you should definitely consider both of those. I have one more errand before I go home, and this one is exciting, so I'll take you along for that too. So how fun is that? A few little feeder fish that will not be fed to anything, hopefully, for the container pond. So I got 5 of them and they're just these little guys, and hopefully they'll be able to live in there all year long. I plan to get like maybe a bird bath feeder, or not feeder, a bird bath heater or something like that, so that I can keep the ice off of the container, and then hopefully they should be able to live in there year round and have, you know, plenty of things to eat this summer. I'll feed them, but then they also will hopefully eat all the like the larvae and stuff of the mosquitoes, because that's really what I'm gonna need. I can't have just open water in my garden, so I need to have something to take care of them. They're super cute. There's one that has like this little brown spot on him, which is adorable, and then the rest of them are just pretty much orange, but super fun. I can't wait to get them into the garden, so I'm going to take them home and get them set up in their new house. So cute. All right, so I just brought them home and I'm going to let them sit here in the pond for about 15 minutes just to kind of get used to the water temperature, and then I'll open the bag and let them out. A couple things about why I ended up getting the goldfish. So there are a few kinds of fish that you can get for a container pond. I ended up kind of looking at 2 different varieties, either the goldfish, these are just like feeder goldfish, or mosquito minnows. And the reason that I went with the goldfish over the mosquito minnows was there were kind of few different factors to it. So mosquito minnows, hence their name, they eat lots and lots and lots of mosquito larvae, which is what I want fish in here for. But they are a little harder to find. I would have had to order them in. These are just super cheap. They were like 16 cents each from my local like pet store. Mosquito minnows I would have had to bring in, which would have been fine, but just something to think about for this. Also, mosquito minnows can be a little bit more aggressive, so I like the look of the little, you know, goldfish, but you can't really mix mosquito minnows in with the goldfish because the mosquito minnows will like bite at the fins of the goldfish and they can be a little aggressive towards them. So I just wanted to keep I love the look of the little goldfish and I just wanted that, and I didn't, you know, if I couldn't mix them, I'd rather just have the goldfish. And then the other thing is that mosquito minnows will reproduce really rapidly. And this is a limited size container, you know, it's, forget how many gallons it is, but it's a half whiskey barrel. you know, it's not a huge full-size pond. So I didn't want to end up with a situation where I had like way too many fish for my container. I don't think these goldfish, from what I've read and understand, I don't think they're gonna reproduce at all. So I'll probably just have these 5, hopefully, if they all do well, and then that'll be it. So those are kind of the factors that I thought about with picking a kind of fish for this container pond. I am not a container pond expert, but from the reading I did, it seemed like for me, for my garden, the goldfish were gonna be the best. So I'm just gonna come back out here in 15 minutes and let them go, and then they can just enjoy their new home. Here are the little fish. I just let them out into their new home. They're exploring. Hopefully they'll be happy here. And it's gonna be super fun to have them in this container. All right, so it is evening. You can probably hear the air conditioners running. It's actually the next day and it's been so hot. Oh my gosh. But I want to get these cucumbers into the ground. So here's the cucumber situation. These are cucamelons. You can tell because they're a lot smaller than a normal cucumber. I'm super excited to see that there's a few plants here, and this will be like plenty. Like these will take over. And then I think I'll just pop 1 cucumber here, and maybe another one. Like some kind of cucumber is coming up here, but it just, yeah, like that just doesn't look like a very healthy, happy little seedling. So I'll probably just put this other cucumber next to it, and then we'll have a few. Something is coming up down there, and I won't really know which variety it is until they actually produce cucumbers, because yeah, I didn't label anything. Been a little behind this year with labeling. But I'm happy to get these in the ground. I think it'll be nice to just have like a little jump start. Just as you can see, the cucumbers just did not germinate. I did put in a couple seeds earlier today for English style cucumber, Chelsea Prize. I really liked them last year when I grew them, and I'm really hoping I can get a little bit of a harvest again. But I'll get these in the ground this evening, and then I'll show you a little bit of what the garden is looking like since I got back from vacation, because everything is huge. If you saw the last vlog, you'll know like where we were a week ago, and then in this one you can see like the tomatoes are next to me. They have just grown absolutely like crazy. I ended up having to mound these up a little bit because there's all these little basil seedlings that I have that I don't want to disturb, so I think that'll be okay. You can see there's so many earthworms and different little things in here, but hopefully this will work for these and they can grow up and cover the whole fence, and there'll be space. Before I show you the tomatoes, I wanted to say that the fish are settling in well. They've been hiding under all the seaweed and everything, but I keep seeing them popping up, and I can tell that there's less of the mosquito larvae in here. So that's super encouraging to see, because it looks like they are doing their job. And now I just have to figure out my feeding plan with them so that they stay wanting to eat all of this larva, and you know, making sure that they're doing their job, which is to eat all of the mosquitoes. So I want them to do that. So I gotta kind of figure that out a little bit. But let me go show you those tomatoes, and then I gotta run back inside because it's almost bedtime for my daughter. But I just came out here to like check on things, and then tomorrow I need to do like a cleanup because it rained while I was gone. Everything got a little, yeah, it got a little messy out here. Okay, so kind of messy, need to kind of organize, and I moved some pots around. I need to clean that up. You can see this Swiss chard is getting huge. It is just absolutely looking great. I can probably harvest some of this for this week. The peppers are looking good. Look, a peplano. And then here are the tomatoes. they have just taken off. They look so, I mean, I think they grew like maybe even a foot since I was gone. Absolutely crazy, but looking good. And now I need to kind of control them, but that'll be, yeah, maybe a job for tomorrow. All right, all the air conditioners are on. Everything is loud out here, so I am gonna go inside, get my daughter ready for bed, and then kind of show you a bit more of what I'm doing and cleaning up and everything in the garden tomorrow. See you in a minute. Good morning. So we have such a hot day coming up today. It's gonna be like 95 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm just kind of checking to make sure that everything is watered. We had so much rain over the last week that I really haven't had to water, which has been nice. So it's all looking good. And I wanted to show you my cucumbers in the pickle bed. So look, we actually have some things coming up. I think this is the salad bush cucumbers. You can see the dill is like loving life. And then in amongst the dill, we do have a few of the other cucumbers coming up. So these are like, I think these are the English style cucumbers I planted. You know, they're starting to take shape, which is good to see. Very, very good to see. And then this is all basil, which hopefully this needs to come out. We'll start, you know, really taking off here. But some of this is Greek dwarf basil. It's starting to look really nice. And the mandevillas are climbing right on up the trellis, so that's exciting. I feel like they've been going kind of slow, but I'm hoping that now, you know, we're really getting into like the heat of the summer, and so I'm hoping that will actually really, they'll kind of take off. I'm thinking about reconfiguring all of these containers today. So everything is looking, well, I moved some things around. I had everything kind of grouped on either side of the walkway, but I think I'm gonna do some rearranging and kind of move everything around, and we'll take a look and you can see what you think once I get that all done. I think I'm gonna put like more of my sunny loving flowers here because this area gets a lot of sun, and just kind of rearrange. Okay, so it's a little later in the day. I'm out here trying to rearrange the containers, and I'm still debating where they're all gonna go. I love this look of tons and tons of containers, but I don't want it to get kind of cluttered. I want it to stay pretty. I'll flip you around and kind of show you a little bit more of what it looks like in here. But yeah, I'm just not quite sure where I want everything. I've been kind of like moving stuff around. I'm trying to figure out where. This is the pond that's just a container of water that I put my little fountain in. And I think I want this to go over here in this grouping, but I'm trying to figure out, this was one of my self-watering containers was causing problems for my plants. I bought a few of them thinking it would help with the containers, but like for these containers that have superbells and this is geranium, they actually like it to be a little drier, so the self-watering situation was causing some problems and it was getting kind of gross, so I took that out. The garden is still very much in process, but now I'm trying to figure out the layout of this, and I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow and do some more because, yeah, I'm just not quite sure. You know, you want to layer the containers, but you don't want it to be jumbled. It's definitely a fine art and something something to practice. But look, I mean, some of these plants are just so stunning. And it's nice to take some time to actually just like look at them. Like this is a little superbells. Holy cow. I mean, what a beautiful flower. Of course, the Kufia. Look at this petunia. I forget what the name of this one was, but oh my gosh, it's so stunning. I love that with the little specks of white. That's beautiful. I'm sorry for all the noise of the air conditioners and everything that happens this time of year, but yeah, it's gonna be a little bit more work to get this all sorted out. Hey there, so I got the garden rearranged. I'm really liking the look of it. It feels a little bit more open to me, which is kind of nice. And there's still a lot of containers, but I feel like it is good to be utilizing some of this patio space because a decent portion of this garden area is the stone patio. It is so hot out. Oh my gosh, you can hear me like breathing hard. It is super hot and super humid. I am going to water things down a little bit. There's just a couple things. Tomorrow I want to get out here and fertilize and just make sure everything's happy. But I want to refill the container pond today. And I might pop in a couple zinnias over here in this bed. The zinnias like had some trouble with germination. I've had a few weird germination issues this year, which is really interesting because not something that I usually deal with. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. That's a little strange, but I may pop in just a few more seeds, see if I can't get some going and kind of take care of that germination issue. Let me turn you around and give you the overview. So here we are, just a little different. I moved some things over, put the banana here for now, and I'll just kind of keep playing around with this area. But I think it has a fun feel. I love this about containers. You can completely change a space, and I just feel like the garden looks super pretty right now. It's, really, really coming together and starting to really take off for the season, which is always so fun. Got the super bells up here, which are starting to spill. Just all of that. I love it. Got the fountain working again, and look at all these tomatoes coming along. This is the Husky Cherry Red. Lots of tomatoes on this plant. I moved it to a little sunnier location because I think it kind of stretched a little bit, but it should be happy here. And moved all my tomatoes into prime sunlight. So I think this is where I'm going to wrap up the vlog for this week. But thank you for hanging out and spending the week in the garden with me, getting it all rearranged and reset, getting back from vacation, seeing everything grow. It's June now, so it is like full steam ahead garden season. This is the real time of year. I'm so excited. I think tomatoes are what I'm most excited for right now. Let me know what you're most excited for, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.